Okay, welcome back. Module 3, Lesson 4, we are getting into sleep support supplements. So, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the key, not only nutrients, but herbs and supplements and remedies that you can take to really start optimizing your sleep today. So, little just disclaimer first is as I mentioned previous lesson, it's not wise to just randomly start taking sleep supplements if you're on any medications or if you have any pre-existing health conditions as natural and at times gentle these products can be, they are also really powerful and they have an impact. So, always do speak to your doctor or your health practitioner. If you're a private client of mine, I go over this with you and we look at your medical history, your health history, any medications that you're on, any health conditions that you're working with, and we optimize and customize this protocol to you. But let's go through some possibilities of what that might look like so that you can do some further research and look into what might be most supportive for you. So, the first one, everyone can benefit from a multivitamin slash multi mineral. And I will link up all of the supplement recommendations that I personally use, that I recommend to my clients, that I use in my practice. I will link those up below for you and we'll keep that nice and updated. There will be ongoing additions to that as I find new products and try new products and get results with them. But first and foremost, multivitamin, multi-mineral is going to be number one, really covering all of your nutritional bases, really the building blocks of what your body needs to bring down those cortisol levels, bring up those melatonin levels, those serotonin levels to really ensure optimal neurochemistry when it comes to your sleep. So, again, it's not very sexy, the multivitamin, but it really is the foundation. And if there was one supplement that you were to take away, it would be get on top of a really good quality multivitamin and multimineral. Okay, the next up is magnesium. So, magnesium is great. It's an essential mineral, again, that we can take before bed. So, I take magnesium to help with my sleep and turning on my parasympathetic nervous system to access those deeper levels of sleep, that REM sleep, the deep sleep state, by really acting as a natural tranquilizer of the nervous system. It's not going to make you groggy or sleepy by any means. It's not. Non groggy magnesium, but it is very powerful. So I take it before bed, anywhere from 2 to 500 milligrams. And the type of magnesium you want to be looking for is going to be either a magnesium citrate or a magnesium malate or a magnesium biglycinate, the more amino acid forms of magnesium, where they're bound to an amino acid versus a oxide, right? There's, of course, with all of these nutrients, there's better qualities than others. So I'll make sure to link up some suggestions below, and you'd want to be looking at those forms. Those are the more therapeutic, functional medicine grade versus just the cheaper synthetic versions of them that you'll find at your local drugstore. You really want to be buying your supplements, all supplements, including sleep supplements, from a reputable functional medicine source, which I'll link up below. And I'll also share, I did a great podcast episode on how to select the best supplements and supplement based companies. So I'll link up that episode as well. And if you're curious to learn more of how to know what to look for when it comes to your supplements, which brands, which products, and some really helpful tips for making the most of your supplements, you'll want to tune into that episode for sure. So, calcium, same thing here. We can get also a calcium magnesium blend. That's really excellent for the nervous system and optimizing sleep. Another really important one is omega 3s. So, omega 3s are essential fatty acids that have a really anti inflammatory and balancing effect on the nervous system. So, they are going to work on the nervous system to help calm and soothe and balance the mind, balance and detoxify the brain, actually, which is really essential for sleep. So, that's a great one that most people should be on. If you are on any sort of blood thinners, or aspirin, or if you have any cardiovascular based issues and you are on medication, you will not want to take omega 3s as it has a slight blood thinning effect, and that can counterindicate with your medication there. And then we have 5-HTP. So before we talked about the amino acid tryptophan, right, which is in dark chocolate. It's that nice precursor to serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin, your sleep chemical. And 5-HTP is a acronym for 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is again that amino acid form of that nutrient, which is really excellent for serotonin, happiness chemical, and that sleep chemical melatonin. L-theanine, another amino acid, one of the building blocks of protein, excellent for calming the mind, soothing busy thoughts, excellent for calming the nervous system. This is a lot of these ingredients, right? 5-HTP, L-theanine, melatonin, and some of these herbs, and a lot of the sleep blends that you'll find. You'll find L-theanine often in there because it's very calming for the mind and helps get us into that theta state, that slower brain wave where we start to fall asleep with more ease. And then finally, melatonin. So we can actually get synthetic forms of melatonin, which matches our own melatonin that we would produce naturally. Melatonin is great. If we do have any sleep issues or insomnia, again, not recommended if we're on any sort of SSRI, anti anxiety, antidepressant, any sort of medications that affect our brain chemistry, it could be contraindicated. So you'll want to talk to your doctor about that. But melatonin is also a potent antioxidant for the brain. It's very brain protecting. I don't recommend melatonin for significant periods of time. However, I personally use it, especially for jet lag and for if I'm out of my usual routine. Like, I have dialed in my sleep routine, you guys, and I sleep amazing nowadays. Like, I fall asleep with ease. I wake up feeling refreshed most days. Of course, there's real life things that happen, and depending where I'm at in my cycle, or, there's certain factors. If I'm going through a period of stress or I'm exercising more or less than usual, of course, there's little things that can affect and impact my sleep. But overall, I sleep really amazing. And melatonin I just use as needed. Like, if I'm traveling or if I am really wired at night, maybe I was working later at night than usual. So melatonin's great. Now, interesting thing with melatonin is sometimes you take it, you feel groggy. People have different experiences with it. And there's two different forms that you can get. This is nice to know. Is you can get fast acting melatonin, or you can get sustained release, or SR. Sometimes you'll see on the label. So if you're the type of person that you struggle to fall asleep, but once you're asleep, you're good, right? If you're that type of sleep personality, then you will want to have a fast acting melatonin. That's going to be more supportive for you. It's going to help you to fall asleep more quickly. When the melatonin will hit your system more quickly. If you are sleep person B, that it's easy for you to fall asleep, but you find yourself waking up throughout the night or tossing and turning throughout the night, then you'll actually benefit more from a sustained released melatonin. It's a slower absorption of it, so it doesn't hit your system so fast, but it will sustain itself longer throughout the night. If you are waking up groggy the next morning, you may consider reducing the dose, or taking the melatonin a little bit earlier on, like let's say right after dinner. Or a few hours before you would be intended to sleep. So it kind of moves through your system before you wake up in the morning. And another reason why it can make you groggy is that you're just vastly deficient in melatonin. And it's having such a powerful impact on your neurochemistry that it's actually having a healing effect. So something to watch out for there. And then let's get into some herbs. So, my top herbs for sleep and relaxation are going to be these ones here. So, valerian. I love valerian. I actually grow a lot of these in my garden here in Bali. I grow lemon balm and passion flower and tulsi. Actually, just those three. But what I do have is I have a whole cabinet of these herbs, and I make my own herbal teas and my own tinctures. You don't have to get that fancy. All of these you can buy. And a lot of the times, whenever you get a functional medicine blend of sleep nutrients, you'll often find these types of herbs in there, which have a very calming, soothing effect on the nervous system. They turn on that parasympathetic nervous system. They turn off and turn down cortisol, that stress chemical. They support melatonin production. They have a grounding, balancing, soothing effect, which are all really quite excellent. So I do recommend these. And again, I'll link up a formula below that has a combination of a few of these. And those will be great for you to look into. Now, what I don't recommend when it comes to sleep supplements is kind of duct taping a protocol together, as in just buying all of this and trying it all at once. What I recommend is be really strategic. If you want to do one thing, start with multivitamin and mineral, see how that sits in your system. Just change that. Then you might consider, okay, I'm going to add in magnesium. Maybe that's the next best thing. And you're going to take that before bed. And I'll make some recommendations below of examples of that. And I'll link up the deep sleep protocol as well for you in the resources section. So you can get a feel for the timing of when you might look into taking these things and so on. Or you might just get an overall sleep optimizing formula that has some of these herbals in it. But always, when it comes to supplements, we want to titrate on to these sleep supplements and we want to titrate off. So that means we're starting slow, we're starting at the lowest possible dose. We're testing it. We're taking it once a day before bed. We're seeing how it feels in our system, increasing the dose as needed and as recommended on the supplement label. But what we're not doing is taking all of the supplements at once and taking high doses of it all at once. We want to try one thing at a time. Try it for a few days, see how your body responds, and then we're slowly building up. And then if you're to come off of the product as well, we want to slowly come off. So let's say you're taking a herbal formula with a variety of different herbs. You're going to start with, let's say, one capsule a day or one dropper bottle full, and then you're going to build up to, say, 2 or 4, whatever the recommended dose is on the bottle. You're going to build up for that over the span of a few days or even a week. And then let's say you're about to come off of it. You don't want to come off of these sleep-based supplements cold turkey. You want to slowly come off. So if you're taking 2 droppers full before bed or 4 capsules before bed, you'd want to slowly, day by day, decrease the dose. And you'd want to do that over a span of a week or 2 so that your body can adjust. So all of that being said, of course, there's disclaimers for all of this. And this is good stuff. This is powerful stuff. This is the power of nature, the power of nutrition and nutritional science to really support and optimize your sleep. So I recommend these a lot. The main ones is multivitamin, magnesium, omegas. I'd say those top 3 if you were to work with. And then herbals, what we might do is we might use them for a period of, 12 to 16 weeks, right? We don't necessarily need to be on these forever. What happens is often these herbs and these nutrients, we build them up in our system. They kind of meet their max capacity of what they can do. And then we can kind of just titrate off of it and it has its impact. And we might cycle through it a few times of the year as needed. But highly recommended. The power of nature is profound, has lots to offer us when it comes to our sleep and our relaxation support. So I hope that was helpful. See the resources below for more links and resources. And I will see you back for the next lesson real soon. We are getting into physical activity and exercise to optimize your sleep. I'll see you there.